Here's the very latest update on the Thomas firefight. This video was from earlier today. Our crew on the ground telling us that firefighters are concentrating on the flames burning tonight in the hills above San Ysidro Ranch. There are dozens of engines lined up, hoses at the ready, staging for structure protection. This is the fourth largest fire in state history. Nearly 250,000 acres have burned, 35% contained tonight. And today, the eastern flank flared up above Fillmore, pushing flames toward Rose Valley as winds continue to shift in this firefight.
Santa Barbara's famous State Street looked like a scene out of a movie today. A majority of the people out walking are wearing masks to protect themselves from the Thomas fire smoke. Lots of shops are staying open along State Street despite the poor air quality. Local shops would love to see you. Business has been slow. Starting tomorrow through Christmas Day, customers can enjoy double the free parking period in downtown lots and garages. That's 2.5 hours of parking for free.
And a traffic reminder, Highway 154 will be closed from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. each morning for as long as necessary between Santa Barbara and the Santa Ynez Valley. This closure is crucial to accommodate hundreds of firefighting vehicles going between the fire lines and their base at Cachuma Lake. You're up to date on the Thomas fire.
The news continues on Fox 11. We'll be back in an hour for the news at 11 on News Channel 3.
Live breaking news from Fox 11.
Right now at 10, taking a stand at San Ysidro Ranch. An intense firefight is on right now to save this Santa Barbara landmark.
They're going to need plates, they're going to need forks, cooking utensils.
And what many of us take for granted are now what's in desperate need for fire evacuees. Plus, towering flames set on purpose, the success of today's massive backfire operation. But first, protecting your pets, how the smoke and ash from the Thomas fire can be a real hazard to your animals. 20 minutes of nonstop news and weather starts right now.
The battle against the Thomas fire ramps up as we head toward day 12 of the firefight. It is now the fourth largest fire in California's history and not far from hopping to number 3. Here are the numbers right now. 249,500 acres have burned so far with 35% containment.
The total cost of the Thomas fire so far is $82 million to fight it. Over 8,300 firefighters are battling the blaze. One variable that is making this firefight difficult is the area where the fire is burning has not seen a tenth of an inch of rain in 251 days.
A firefighter died this morning while battling the blaze. Corey Iverson leaves behind a daughter and a pregnant wife. The 32-year-old died this morning on the eastern flank of the fire north of Fillmore. Iverson was an engineer based out of San Diego and had been with the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection since 2009. Fire officials say they are heartbroken but determined to carry on.
The firefight in front of us continues to go on. The communities we are protecting are depending on us, and we will not fail.
CAL FIRE confirms he was with a strike team of 2 or 3 others when he died. His unit was taken off the front lines today to grieve his loss.
The procession carried his body to the Ventura County Medical Center. That's where Iverson's firefighter brothers and sisters gave him a special salute. Flags are being ordered to half-staff throughout California in Iverson's honor. And late today, Governor Brown issued a statement reading in part, quote, "His bravery and years of committed service to the people of California will never be forgotten."
Good evening. I'm Beth Farnsworth.
And I'm Scott Hennessy. We have team coverage tonight of the Thomas fire burning in Santa Barbara County.
Fox 11 News' Centeray de Los Santos is in Ventura, where donations are starting to slow down for fire victims. Meteorologist Jason Stiff is in the First Alert Weather Center. Melissa Newman will tell you how the ash and smoke can affect your pets. But first, we go to Tracy Lair, who is near San Ysidro Ranch with the very latest on the fire and the firefight.
That's right, Beth. I am just below the famous San Ysidro Ranch. Many people know it as an iconic place in Santa Barbara County, and it was evacuated over the weekend, and this is the reason why. This flare-up is above that ranch on the Front Range, and there are a lot of firefighters around this area trying to protect it. As firefighters work to protect San Ysidro Ranch, where JFK honeymooned, crews have heavy hearts. They put black bands on their badges in honor of Corey Iverson, the CAL FIRE apparatus engineer killed fighting the Thomas fire in Fillmore.
I mean, it's always hard to put that on because, you know, when you're brothers, that's what the badge means. You know, we're all brothers here. Putting it on is always tough, you know, and then you hear, you know, about him and, you know, I just read that he was only 32 years old. That's really young, you know, so that's kind of tough too.
People stopped to watch the procession in Ventura County. On State Street in Santa Barbara, people yelled their thanks to firefighters taking a well-deserved break.
Thanks, guys.
They also honored them at the Arlington Theater, where the opening night Star Wars marquee made room for firefighters, "May the Force be with you." It's a bit of levity on what is certain to be a long night. And again, you're looking live now out here. This is the flames from the Thomas fire above the San Ysidro Ranch, where a lot of fire engines and fire crews are staged tonight. This is an area that was evacuated, a mandatory evacuation. It's very quiet here. The wind is not picked up, but there is concern that winds could change, pushing those flames in a bad direction. Reporting live in Montecito, Tracy Lair, Fox 11 News.
All right, Tracy, thank you. And San Ysidro Ranch is a Santa Barbara County landmark. The luxury resort hotel is in the Montecito foothills. It was deeded by Charles III of Spain. It's hosted many famous guests, including Winston Churchill and Audrey Hepburn. Former President John F. Kennedy and Jacqueline honeymooned there.
You can see on the fire activity map here, unofficial, where the flames are. Those red dots indicate areas that are burning or have burned within the last 12 hours. You can see San Ysidro on the left-hand portion of your screen there, and all those red dots up above it. We are watching those flames. That's where Tracy's situated. And again, here you see the boundary of the fire going up against what appears to be a creek there, that line that goes right down the middle. You see East Mountain Drive down below and Westmont College a few miles out to the west of this fire that continues to encroach west at about a half mile to a mile a day, according to fire officials.
Very dramatic in the firefight right now. The good news is those dots seem to be diminishing tonight. The bad news is the weather is changing. Winds are expected to kick up. I want to check in with Jason now.
Yeah, thankfully it's not very windy right now at all. Taking a look at a couple observations around the Thomas fire. First of all, the Botanic Gardens in Santa Barbara. We only have an offshore wind of gusts of 4 miles an hour. It could be a lot worse than that and is going to strengthen over the next 24 to 36 hours. Humidity not good at 6%. Speaking of which, Montecito Hills, 5% humidity. The wind also not that strong, but stronger than we want it to be out of the northeast, gusting to 12 miles an hour, and still much stronger in Ventura County, sustained at 28 or 26 miles an hour, gusting to 36. Humidity only 10%. That's at the Wiley Ridge east of Santa Paula. It's 68 degrees. Now we still have the potential for some more strong wind overnight tonight. An extension to our wind advisory until 3 o'clock tomorrow morning now, with more gusts to 45 miles an hour possible. That is for Ventura County. Obviously, we still have a red flag warning. That continues until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning again for the valleys and mountains of Ventura County. Please keep that in mind, and also more fire danger ahead. It's because another storm system is going to be moving our direction, and it's going to be a dry one and a windy one. We have more fire danger. So for Friday night into Saturday, a fire weather watch for the mountains of Santa Barbara County. Then when that wind switches around, Saturday night into Sunday afternoon and evening, we have a fire weather watch for Ventura County because of more strong Santa Ana wind. We are not done with this fire danger. Thankfully, the firefighters are doing a fantastic job. More details on our short-term and long-term forecast all the way through the first day of winter coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, Jason, thank you very much.
And donations have been pouring in for Thomas fire victims. Fox 11 Senator De Los Santos is live in Ventura. Senator, those donations, though, are starting to slow down.
Well, that's right, guys. You know, this warehouse right behind me is the main hub for donations here in Ventura. Now, this is not only the place that you would go and drop off your donations, it's also the place that you would come and receive the items that you would need if you were affected by the Thomas fire.
They're going to need plates. They're going to need forks, cooking utensils.
Many of these things that we take for granted are the things that the victims of the Thomas fire will now need since they have lost everything. The Red Cross shelter that is located near the Ventura County Fairgrounds is helping with a head start.
Oh, they're going to need everything.
Maggie Tugas works at the Ventura County volunteer organization Active in Disaster, otherwise known as VOAD. It's an organization that assists individuals in recovering from a disaster.
We were in the process of creating a donations management plan, and we were asked to create that by the county. And so we were right in the middle of, we're halfway done with it, trying to determine where we were going to store all the stuff that everyone was going to donate, and this happened. So I guess we're testing our plan.
What is collected here is often distributed out to other organizations that need it, such as the Red Cross, Salvation Army, and Habitat for Humanity, to name a few.
For example, Santa Barbara needed water, so they needed pallets of water. We had a lot of water, so we had them come pick up 7 pallets of water to take up there.
Tuga says that they have been getting lots of donations the first week of the fire, but since has dwindled down. Volunteers is also needed.
We need the manpower to manage this operation.
Other nonprofits in Ventura County have stepped in to lend a helping hand, including Project Understanding. They help provide groceries to families once a month, but have since opened the doors to the people who have been affected by the Thomas Fire.
We normally are feeding about 2,400 individuals per month. That need has increased since the fire has happened.
Project Understanding says it's the money donations that will help get many back on their feet.
For those that don't have renter's insurance, they're going to need to come up with a down payment, a deposit first month. That's where Project Understanding can come in and give that assistance needed.
Now, the warehouse is located on Thompson and Ventura Avenue, right near the fairgrounds. Now, people here tell me they do not need any more clothing, although that might change in the next couple of months. The best way to find out what is needed during this time is by calling. We'll also have more information on our website. Live in Ventura, Senorita Los Santos, Fox 11 News.
The powerful sound of helicopter rotors thumped against the front country of Santa Barbara and Montecito this morning. The choppers drew the fire retardant phosphat from temporary tanks, similar to the way they loaded up in the 2009 Jesucita fire nearby. They just kept coming, one after another, from first light to nightfall. One onlooker recalls his father on assignment with fires and says he has seen big fire operations before.
Dad helped fight the 1955 fire. He worked for the Lemon House back then. He was driving a water truck back then. So, but
those were the very raw days.
Those are raw days.
Later in the day, fire commanders called for a large backburn in the Montecito Hills west of Toro Canyon. They had cleared out fire lines to protect homes in the area and then intentionally lit the hill on fire in several areas. It was just the way they'd planned it, with the light on shore wind that pushed the flames through the brush and into a recently burned area. Many firefighters were on hand to protect large multi-million-dollar homes on private roads.
This afternoon, 2 firing operations happened in Carpinteria near the water treatment plant. The other in the hills above Montecito that we just saw behind the Bella Vista Road water treatment plant in the Romero Canyon area. This brought large flames and a huge buildup of smoke, essentially a large controlled burn in the areas below the western flank of the fire. It also affected the air quality. Health Officer Charity Dean says to continue wearing your N95 mask.
And crews attacked the fire from the air and on the ground. All this activity happened above Montecito. Free mask distribution happening again tomorrow and through the weekend. The Goleta Valley Community Center and the Santa Barbara Public Library are handing out masks all weekend long. Goleta City Hall tomorrow only. Carpinteria Library Friday and Saturday. The Buellton CVS is also handing out masks. So far, more than 300,000 N95 masks have been given out to communities in the Santa Barbara areas, all affected throughout the county by this unhealthy air quality from the Thomas Fire.
Residents in the Ondolando neighborhood in Ventura County are coming back to see what's left of their homes. Fox 11's Alex Biston spoke with 2 families with very different experiences.
John Quebman is searching for his father's ashes among ashes.
If I can find my dad's ashes up in there. There's a little tin up there somewhere.
Ever since the Thomas Fire burned down his family home on Cobblestone Drive in Ventura, Quebman has been searching for a ray of hope. Thursday, he found it, something he never thought he'd see again.
It's life as we know it. There's still some memories, good memories to see.
Photos from the halls of his home saved by firefighters.
When the house caught fire and the fire department was here, they broke into the house, and any of the photos and that they seen, they just took them and they took them to my neighbor's house, or my mom's neighbor, and put them next to the front door.
Yeah, be careful, there's glass. Please be careful.
Quebman says these saved treasures will help bring hope to his family.
And it's nice to be able to see photos again.
All that we knew has changed.
Just up the street, neighbor Barbara Latham's home is just one of those only still standing on Montclair Drive.
Especially in Ondalanda, where we had so many grandmas and great-grandparents and history, you know, that's like we won't be able to recreate that, and we have to go out now and we're standing like at a portal of what's next.
Latham's home was built by her mother in 1959. She says even though her family's home is still intact, the neighborhood will never be the same.
It's not just me, it's all of those that home, whose lives touched that home. And I'm beginning to find out now as the days pass afterwards, you know, we're in contact and they're grieving it as much as I am.
Two different realities just a few blocks from each other in the Ondalando neighborhood.
That's my mom.
Both wondering how the Thomas fire will affect their community moving forward.
Big changes with the weather. That's what everybody's concerned about
Right.
tonight on all flanks of this fire.
Holding our breath through the weekend here,
Yep.
Jason.
Yeah, and considering relatively cooperative recently, but it's going to get uncooperative in a hurry in various locations because of another disturbance moving our direction. Right now, not that windy around Santa Barbara County. However, Ventura County, it's still windy. Not as windy as earlier in the day, as you can see, looking at this observation from Wiley Ridge, sustained at 26 gusts to 36 miles an hour, but it was over 50 a little bit earlier in the afternoon. But we do expect a lot more wind going forward. We have an extension to our wind advisory until 3 o'clock tomorrow morning for Ventura County. More gusts over 45 miles an hour will be a possibility. And obviously we have lots of dry fuel on the ground, very dry air also. Red flag warning continues until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, also for all of Ventura County. And we have more fire danger for the upcoming weekend. For Santa Barbara County, with another incoming disturbance coming in from the north, pushing right over California. Fire weather watch for the mountains of Santa Barbara County from Friday night through Saturday afternoon and evening. And then as that progresses, it's going to become a fire weather watch, going to be a red flag warning eventually for Ventura County. Saturday night into Sunday, some wind gusts in excess of 50 miles an hour will be quite possible, mainly for Ventura County. Not that strong for Santa Barbara County, but it's going to be stronger than we want it to be. Now, Friday into Saturday, a lot of gusts between 25 and 35. It's going to be offshore flow. Not an official sundowner, but it's going to be that offshore direction. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's going to be the wind that we don't want. Now, looking at futurecast for the wind, fairly windy in parts of Ventura County right now. Fairly calm for Santa Barbara County's south coast currently. Much of the daylight hours will have far less wind on Friday, but it will start picking up late in the day Friday into early Saturday for south coast of Santa Barbara County as that disturbance begins to move our way. As you can see around Santa Barbara and Montecito, sustained wind 18 to 20 miles an hour. Then it gets a little bit stronger as we get through the day on Saturday as that disturbance moves through San Luis Obispo, then Santa Barbara counties. The wind speed is going to pick up, and it's going to pick up a little bit later for Ventura County, becoming a Santa Ana, whereas it was just a sundowner for parts of Santa Barbara County first. Here's 10 o'clock Saturday night already ramping up, and it's going to be windier than that as we move into Sunday, so please keep that in mind. No clouds of any significance around the region. Probably have a few clouds on Saturday, but you'll have a challenge just seeing them because of all the smoke. We have to go a long way to see any rain showers. Look at that, all the way toward Vancouver Island. I wish it was a lot closer. We actually have a lot of the smoke from the Thomas fire moving not only into northern California, but into southwestern parts of Canada as well. British Columbia has seen some of the smoke from our Thomas fire. So tomorrow, highs will still be where they shouldn't be for December, mainly in the 70s, some 80s. Gusty wind for Ventura County, especially as we move into Saturday and Sunday. For Santa Barbara, it'll be windier late Friday into Saturday, and those highs will still be well above average. Mid to upper 70s for most days. We'll have a little bit less wind once we get past Sunday, and that's when it gets a lot stronger for Ventura County. It's going to start late Saturday in Ventura, and much stronger on Sunday as well. Those highs will be in the 70s. It's not going to feel like December, and then that first day of winter, I wish that meant rain, but it doesn't. We're just going to have a lot more sunshine and no good chances for any wet weather that we desperately need. We're going to be lucky if we get any by the close of 2017. It's not impossible, but right now it's not looking very likely.
Incredible. Okay, thanks.
What is winter anyway?
Yeah, right.
We haven't seen it this year.
No. All right, that's 20 minutes of nonstop news and weather to start tonight's hour-long newscast. Still ahead, many evacuated residents need to put their pets in shelters until they can get back into their homes. How you can help the Humane Society make room for all the animals.
And hundreds of power poles were damaged in the Thomas fire. Find out what you can do to help make their jobs easier.
Smoke and ash is just as harmful for our furry friends as it is for us. We'll tell you some tips on protecting your pets coming up.
Scott Hennessy, Chief Meteorologist Alan Rose, and Mike Clan Sports. This is Fox 11 News, live at 10.
Dogs and cats displaced by the Thomas fire are finding shelter at animal services in Santa Barbara and Ventura counties.
But it's getting a little bit crowded, so the Humane Society in Santa Maria is stepping up to help out. The Santa Maria Valley Humane Society is taking in as many adoptable animals from the local shelters to make room for evacuated animals needing to be boarded. And now that this shelter is filling up, they'd love you to adopt a pet at a discount.
Our adoption fees to be $50 for any pet, dog or cat, that's been in the shelter, and trying to get these guys into homes.
The Santa Maria Valley Humane Society is open from 11 in the morning until 7 at night.
Some good looking dogs there for sure. Have nice cats too. It's a cool place, the Humane Society. You should check it out if you need a pet right now. Well, smoke and ash, they do not just affect humans. It can also impact our furry friends as well.
That's right. Public health officials are offering tips on how to protect pets from unhealthy air. You put a mask on your dog, Scott, I have a feeling. Fox 11's Melissa Newman is live in Orcutt now with that story. Melissa, you've got two beautiful dogs with you.
Yeah, Scott and Beth, obviously this is live, so they're a little hard to wrangle, but the Santa Barbara County Public Health Department is asking for people to make sure that they bring inside their dogs and cats so they are away from the smoke and ash if you live in an air quality warning area. They've also asked for outside dogs and cats to be brought into garages if they can't come into your house.
Wherever dog owner Bruce Willer goes, his dog goes too, even during an air quality warning.
When I went up to visit my son in Lompoc, it was terrible. And we all stayed in the house. We didn't go outside.
He's not alone. The Powers family says they've been keeping their dog Cooper inside too.
Just like they say for us to stay inside or wear a mask. So I would mainly say keep them inside if you can.
The Santa Barbara County Public Health Department asked those who live in an air quality warning area to avoid taking their pets on long walks. They say ash should be brushed off your pet's coats and paws, and then your pet should get washed to remove any dangerous particles.
Their nose is real close to the sidewalk. And you know, when you stir up that ash, why, I'm sure they could breathe some of it.
Ensuring your pet is wearing proper identifications at all times is extremely important as well. Following these steps can help ensure your furry friend stays healthy as the Thomas fire rages on.
Now, smoke and ash can cause eye irritation, coughing, and breathing problems. If you have any questions about how it may affect your pet, you can contact your veterinarian. Reporting live in Orcutt, Melissa Newman, Fox 11 News.
All right, some good tips. I know our dog is kind of depressed because he hasn't been walked much.
I took mine out today. Melissa, that's a good dog you have there, right? What's that dog's name that you're with tonight?
This is Jaeger and this is Kahlua.
Oh, cute names.
Yeah,
is Jaeger a lab?
Looks like it.
And Kahlua looks like he's husky or part wolf or something. They're beautiful.
Yeah, they're happy to be there with
Yeah,
you.
they are.
That's
Okay,
cool,
thanks.
Melissa. Thank you very much.
All right, well, the firefighters are hoping to avoid a repeat of this morning's traffic jam on the 154. They're asking people to use the 101 instead.
Yeah, Caltrans says the closure of Highway 154 from 5 in the morning until 9 in the morning is necessary to accommodate hundreds of firefighting vehicles going to and from the fire lines. There are about 8,000 firefighting personnel assigned to the Thomas fire incident.
People in Santa Barbara and Montecito need to be aware if they haven't been into these mandatory evacuation areas, but we have hundreds of fire engines in and around all of these structures.
Despite the closure of the highway, fire trucks got stuck in southbound rush hour traffic. So again, the 154 every morning going forward from 5 to 9 is closed. Do not take the 154 in the morning unless you live there or you work there, and you have to be there. Make room for the firefighting crews. As our first responders work tirelessly, local residents are showing their gratitude. Some local women took advantage of the steady flow of fire trucks at the corner of Calle Real and Highway 154 to express their appreciation to the firefighters and all the first responders battling the Thomas fire. These three women waved, they held signs saying thank you and stay safe, and shouted support to the firefighters as they drove by.
Your heart just wants to somehow support them, and everybody's baking cookies. I guess they have enough cookies, so we just thought to do this. And you know, we just are so in awe of their sacrifice, and the work that they do is so hard and so dangerous, and we really, really appreciate it.
And the firefighters appreciate the show of support. They gave a quick honk of the horn. Some even turned on their siren for a second or two. All right, here is a live look at the Thomas fire burning in the mountains high above the Montecito and Summerlin area tonight.
And the firefight heading into the 12th day. Again, it is the 4th largest fire in California's history. We'll check back in with Tracy Lear coming up next.
Fox 11, the #1 local news at 10.
The firefighters on the ground are getting some big help from the air.
It's a key part of the firefight. For the last week, the global supertanker station in Colorado Springs has been helping extinguish the flames of the Thomas wildfire. CAL FIRE reports it costs a minimum of $165,000 for 3 days and more than $16,000 for every hour in the air. For the last week, California has spent an average of $304,000, and that's not including the cost for fuel and fire retardant. But officials say it's worth the price to stop these fires. The tanker can fly close to mountainous terrain.
See this aircraft operate like it does at the low altitudes and doing the job it does is extremely spectacular.
California's contract with Global Supertanker Services is on a call when needed basis, meaning that the aircraft can only serve the state if it is available. A small fire broke out south of Lompoc today. Fire crews at the Coast Fires say they're happy the winds in Lompoc were calm, or this fire could have escalated quickly. The fire broke out this afternoon due to a downed power line and slowly grew to almost 14 acres. 10 engines, 2 air tankers, and 3 helicopters were used to stop the flames.
The city of Santa Barbara is doubling the free parking period in all downtown lots and garages. A lot of businesses are affected by the Thomas fire, but stores are opening back up now that the ash is being removed from the streets and sidewalks. Tomorrow through Christmas Day, you can park downtown for free for 2.5 hours. Many restaurants and shops are donating portions of their proceeds to various organizations helping those impacted by the fire. If you're heading out to holiday shop with your kids this weekend, Santa will be inside in the Paseo Nuevo Mall in the room right next to See's Candy. Santa Barbara's famous State Street looked like a scene out of a movie today. The majority of people walking around wearing face masks, protecting themselves from all of the Thomas fire smoke and ash. Some people say foot traffic is picking up, but the owners of the Italian pottery outlet posted signs reminding people that they are open for business. The Spaluto sisters say that their parents opened this store in the 1980s.
There's so many local businesses that are staying open. I mean, there's a lot of stores that are closing, but all the local businesses, as far as I know, we're all staying open because we need to.
For most businesses, and for ours included, the fourth quarter is your biggest quarter. And so this is supposed to be our best month, and it's turned into our worst month like that. And because of the ash, who knows when it's gonna, if it goes away, people will come back.
Honestly, I'm just trying to do like last minute holiday shopping because the fire kind of prevented me from shopping.
And there really is a grassroots campaign and a push to buy local because of this whole situation. Lots of shops are staying open along State Street despite the air quality. They hope shoppers and even firefighters with time off will venture in.
Commuters are getting one of the best vantage points of the Thomas fire burn area, especially for drivers on the northbound 101 between Ventura and Carpinteria looking at the scorched hillside. It almost looks like a snowy pass, but miles of the hillside are covered with ash. Some roads are singed as well, some road signs. The areas that are not burned, firefighters managed to save. Continue with team coverage tonight of the Thomas fire burning in Santa Barbara County.
And Fox 11's Tracy Lear is near San Ysidro Ranch, the historic area right below a dramatic flare-up. Tracy?
I'm on San Ysidro Road, and if I step out of the way, you can see what the fire, the Thomas Fire on day 11, looks like above the famous San Ysidro Ranch. We've seen some flare-ups. Earlier it looked sort of like a V, and now it's just slanting up that road. We also saw a big red glow, meaning it's also burning way in the back of the backcountry of Los Padres National Forest, and a lot of crews are in the area ready to protect that ranch. As firefighters work to protect San Ysidro Ranch, where JFK honeymooned, crews have heavy hearts. They put black bands on their badges in honor of Corey Iverson, the CAL FIRE apparatus engineer killed fighting the Thomas Fire in Fillmore.
I mean, it's always hard to put that on because, you know, when you're brothers, that's what the badge means. You know, we're all brothers here. Putting it on is always tough, you know, and then you hear, you know, about him, and you know, I just read that he was only 32 years old. That's really young, you know, so that's kind of tough too.
People stopped to watch the procession in Ventura County. On State Street in Santa Barbara, people yelled their thanks to firefighters taking a well-deserved break.
Thanks, guys.
They also honored them at the Arlington Theater, where the opening night Star Wars marquee made room for firefighters, May the Force be with you. It's a bit of levity on what is certain to be a long night. Back out here live, you can see the flames on the hillside, the front country behind the San Ysidro Ranch. We're on San Ysidro Road, and you're going to see some patrol cars going down the roads here. We've been circled by a police car all night. They're protecting all these areas that evacuated. The ranch, by the way, evacuated on Sunday and sent many people to the Bacara. Reporting live in Montecito, Tracy Lair, Fox 11 News.
Tracy, thank you. To give you an idea of where Tracy is here, there's San Ysidro Road, and that's the 101, the thick yellow line there. There is a freeway exit for San Ysidro. As you go north here, you can see where the evacuation zone continues, where it begins, rather. The 192, that's the red line that goes from Mission Canyon to the west all the way through Montecito into Carpinteria, everything north of Highway 192. And there you see San Ysidro Ranch right there. And as we go up just a little bit higher, you're going to see the flames, and that's what you were seeing behind Tracy just a moment ago. Southern California Edison crews making repairs on damaged power poles. We will show you that when we return.
What brought us here was our career. That's how we met.
What keeps us here is this community. It really is a very special place to call home.
In times of challenge, we've seen how friends and neighbors keep coming together.
It is our job to inform, but it is a privilege to see that story through, to see the positive side to the story.
And I can't tell you how many times people have called the tip line to say thank you for helping my mom or saved my neighbor's house.
This is our community, and we are proud to call it home.
When it comes to your health insurance or Medicare supplemental insurance, you deserve the best, and that's what you get with Stevens & Associates.
Each person's situation is unique. That's why we make sure to find the best plan that fits your needs.
At Stevens & Associates, we take care of any issues that could arise. We have a whole staff of customer service representatives that make sure it works out for you. Quality coverage and overwhelming customer service is our commitment to you. Make sure you're covered by calling Stevens & Associates today at 683-3636.
On Saturday morning, I noticed that Bao was dragging his back legs. The ER doctor said his spinal cord was injured and he'd need surgery. The AVS surgical team is the reason that Bao can walk today.
Advanced Veterinary Specialists is a locally owned hospital created by pet lovers for pet lovers. We treat every patient with kindness and compassion to feel like a home away from home, making an unfortunate event a positive experience. AVS, the right choice for your best friend.
Your testimony will save lives. This is your new name. This is your new house and a perfectly inconspicuous SUV. You must become invisible.
I'll take my chances.
The reimagined Audi Q5 is here. Get an exceptional offer on the 2018 Q5 at your local Audi dealer.
Need help with your utility bill? CAC Energy Services may be able to help you avoid disconnection or just get ahead on your bill with LIHEAP payment assistance.
If you're struggling to make ends meet, CAC Energy Services offers payment assistance to income-eligible families throughout Santa Barbara County. We also provide free home energy upgrades to keep your home safe and energy efficient.
Call today to see if you are pre-qualified. Your energy savings are just a phone call away.
Southern California Edison crews are making repairs on damaged power poles. Crews are replacing poles, wires, and equipment that were destroyed or damaged in the Thomas fire. But there are many areas impacted by the fire that crews cannot get to. Edison asks the community to try to conserve power today. As of this afternoon, no Santa Barbara area customers are without power, but about 550 customers in Ventura are without electricity.
And because of wildfires like the Thomas fire, state regulators are now considering tougher rules for power lines. The rules would require all tree branches to be spaced a certain distance from power lines. It would also require new power lines to be put further away from trees. Utility companies would also have to fix safety issues in areas that are prone to fires. It would have to be fixed within 6 months.
SoCal Edison is asking Santa Barbara residents to reduce power consumption as the Thomas fire continues to threaten power lines. Officials say conserving energy will help ease the potential strain on the local system.
And if you want to get even more information about the Thomas fire, there are some information kiosks up and around town. 2 new kiosks opened up yesterday, one at the Franklin Community Center and one at Foodland on San Andreas Street. The others can be found at Paseo Nuevo, Stearns Wharf, and at the Santa Barbara Public Library.
In other news, the number of UCSB applications for fall of 2018 set a new record. The Office of Admissions received over 109,000 applications from prospective freshmen and transfer students. UCSB received over 92,000 applications from just prospective freshmen for fall 2018. That's up more than 12% over last year.
Remembering the 26 victims of the Sandy Hook shooting that happened 5 years ago on this day. The shooting tragedy in Newtown, Connecticut, when a gunman stormed a first-grade classroom, killing 20 students and 6 adults. Here are the innocent faces of those killed. We will be right back.
It's big, quickly reconnects families. Same with Aladdin, the biggest in bail. No one has lower prices, is faster or more professional. Aladdin Bail Bonds. Bigger because we're better.
If you have been thinking about a new car, you cannot afford to miss this message from Paradise Chevrolet in Ventura. GM employee pricing is back. Paradise Chevrolet, the largest Chevrolet dealership on the Central Coast, is now selling many of their new 2017 cars and trucks to the public for the same price GM employees get. Silverados, Colorados, Tahoe, Suburban, Camaro, Corvette, Traverse, and more, all with super low GM employee pricing. With over 300 new vehicles to choose from, Paradise Chevrolet is the place to go.
Jeblica's has a perfect Christmas gift for everybody. 20% off Wrangler Western wear for ladies, men, and kids.
Come on into Jeblica's and try out our Wrangler jeans.
Yes, you heard correctly. 20% off all Wrangler in-stock merchandise now through Tuesday, December 19th. All in-stock men's, ladies, and kids Wrangler shirts and pants now 20% off through Tuesday, December 19th. Jeblica's in Santa Barbara and Los Olivos. Open Monday through Saturday 9 to 5:30 and Sunday 10 to 4:30.
Sometimes people fall on hard times. There are lots of families in our community that can't afford to feed their families. That means kids go to school hungry, and their parents don't even know where the next meal will come from. The Unity Shop treats these families with respect, allowing them to shop in the free food store for stuff their families like and use.
Right now, we are desperately in need of funds to buy turkey and chicken for families who will go without this holiday season. If you can help, please go to unityshop.org.
Selfless service is the guiding principle of every Army National Guard soldier. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. To be an Army National Guard soldier is to serve something greater than yourself. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Well, thankfully, the wind around the Santa Barbara area is not very strong right now. In general, less than 10 miles an hour, varying directions from both onshore to offshore. It's still a lot stronger, though, in Ventura County. Currently, 33-mile-an-hour wind gusts out of the east-northeast. That is a Santa Ana direction, and we have a lot more wind for many areas coming in just a few days. More details in just a few minutes.
Santa Barbara Dental Care, your local dental expert since 1987. With our state-of-the-art full-service facility, we provide comprehensive dental care from routine procedures to full mouth CT scans. No insurance, no worries. Dr. Weber and Dr. Becker offer their new VIP dental program that provides 2 professional cleanings, x-rays, exams, and discounts on treatments, including Invisalign. Experts in providing comfortable solutions with sedation will make your experience a pleasant one. Call Santa Barbara Dental Care today or visit Health Connections at myfox11.com.
Opportunity. We see the promise in all of our Santa Barbara County neighbors, but too often, meaningful opportunities to turn potential into success are limited. United Way of Santa Barbara County's community-based programs and partnerships provide that necessary opportunity. These opportunities cannot be created alone. Behind each changed life is a network of support, donors, volunteers, and partners. Together, we are building better futures.
I'm struggling.
Struggling.
I feel sad.
Totally overwhelmed. Who do I talk to?
If someone you know is struggling with depression or anxiety, don't assume someone else will reach out. Let them know you care by starting a conversation. You might just save a life.
Hi, I'm Congressman Salud Carbajal. Anxiety and depression can be successfully treated, but those suffering often don't ask for help. Encourage them to reach out.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
He taught me how to ride my bike.
He's the coach
for my baseball team.
They help me with my math homework. He holds my hand while we watch scary movies. Because the things he does helps all of us. Be alert, our parents are at work.
The battle against the Thomas fire continues as firefighters go into their 12th day in the firefight. It is now the 4th largest fire in California's history. Here's a look at the latest numbers tonight. More than 249,500 acres have burned so far, 35% contained.
Yeah, containment's up a little bit, and that's a good thing. The total cost of fighting this fire so far is $82 million. There are more than 8,300 firefighters here fighting the blaze. One variable making the fire very difficult to fight is the area where the fire is burning. It's very dry, and it has not seen as much as 1/10 of an inch of rain in 251 days. This fire is a beast. Look how enormous it is. It is 60 miles long and 40 miles wide, and we're focusing much of our attention to the western part of the fire above Santa Barbara, Carpinteria, Montecito. And it looked like earlier today fire crews were saying that they were going to lift evacuations over here on the eastern flank of this fire because things were doing better over here near Fillmore. But things have changed. They were unable to lift the evacuations this morning, and this is the area where the firefighter was killed today out there fighting this fire. We don't know the circumstances of his death, but Corey Iverson, we know he's 32 years old from San Diego, and this is the area that he was in where you see those red dots. And Beth, you have new information about new evacuations out there.
That's right, and this is farther to the north and the east for the area of Sespe Creek to the west under a mandatory evacuation order. This was just handed down by the Ventura County Sheriff's Office. This is to the west, area of Sespe Creek to the west, Burson Ranch to the east, the Los Padres National Forest boundary to the north, and the Fillmore city limits to the south. And an advisory issued also for areas from 2nd Street north on Island, west of 4th to Good Enough Road, and north to the levee.
So I think the thing to take away from that is even though the fire has moved very far west, it's still hot in certain areas. They say the containment estimated is not until the first week of the new
January
year.
7th.
This fire is so huge, even when they put parts of it feel like they have a wrap on it, it's not done till it's done.
And when we were looking at the map as you were showing us, the border with Los Angeles County is not that far away from that northeast boundary.
Right.
Think of that. Santa Barbara County, Ventura County, potentially part of Los Angeles County as well. That's a huge fire. And unfortunately, it's not going to get any better right now. Thankfully, the firefighters are doing an amazing job, but they have to battle wind and dry weather like this. I want to show you this once again. This is one of the reasons why they had to get more evacuations in parts of Ventura County because of these gusty winds. As you can see, gusting to 33 miles an hour, and that's more than 20 miles an hour weaker than it was this afternoon. This around the Wiley Ridge area. Still 67 degrees, still only 10% humidity. That's also why the wind advisory was extended again. It was supposed to expire at 9 tonight. It is now lasting until 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Still, the potential of more gusts of 45 miles an hour are there. Red flag warnings continue until at least 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for Ventura County, other parts of Kern County, Los Angeles County as well. And we are going to have more red flag warnings going forward in the weekend because we already have fire weather watches. First for Santa Barbara County, late Friday into Saturday because of an incoming disturbance. And then that disturbance continues to move to the south and east, which is going to prompt another fire weather watch for Ventura County. Late Saturday into Sunday, that's when the sundowner action ends up becoming Santa Ana action as it goes from Santa Barbara County to Ventura County. So for us, it's not going to be quite as strong in Santa Barbara County as it will be in Ventura County, but there will still be the potential of sundowner-like offshore flow between 25 and 35 miles an hour. Obviously, that is not what we want with the battle going on with the Thomas Fire, but that is what is coming. Now, for much of the day on Friday, the wind will be weaker. Unfortunately, that's not going to last very long because late Friday into Saturday, it's going to start picking up along the south coast of Santa Barbara County, mainly between 15 and 20 miles an hour. And then as the disturbance progresses further to the south and east, not only will it be windier around Santa Barbara County, it's going to get windier in Ventura County too. Late Saturday into Sunday, you can see right at the tail end of our futurecast forecast, it is starting to get a lot stronger. We're going to have the potential for a lot of wind gusts in excess of 40 miles an hour. And unfortunately, there are no good chances for any wet weather. Look how far you have to go to see just a few showers of rain all the way to Vancouver, BC. Vancouver Island, that's where the closest showers are to our part of the world. So no good chance for any relief rain-wise for the central and south coasts of California. Tomorrow we'll still have the smoke in the air. We'll have a little bit less wind in most locations briefly. It'll start picking up late Friday, but more likely Saturday around Santa Barbara County and late Saturday into Sunday for Ventura County. Highs tomorrow mainly in the 70s with some 80s again for Ventura County as well. The next 7 days, look at that, all the way through the last day of autumn and the first day of winter. We still have lots of 70s in the forecast for Santa Barbara and a lot more wind than we want as well. Most of that wind is going to be on Saturday. Highs averaging in the mid-70s, more than 10 degrees warmer than average. For Ventura, the same situation, but stronger wind. Late Saturday into Sunday especially, the highs will be mainly in the 70s. Not much relief at night, even though overnight lows will be well above average. And as you can see, all the way through the last day of autumn and the first day of winter next Thursday, no good chances for wet weather. And unfortunately, there's a good chance we won't see any measurable rain around most of our region until the beginning of the next month.
Boy, incredible. A nearly 2-week-old fire in the middle of December.
And no rain in sight. Yikes.
Scary.
All right. Next in sports tonight on Fox 11 News at 10. Bishop Diego football talks about the challenges of facing the Shasta Wolves in Saturday's state championship bowl game.
Bishop Diego High School football has been very impressed watching film of their state championship bowl game opponent, Shasta High School. The Wolves from Redding, California score a lot of points. They run the ball extremely well, and they can also hurt you through the air. All week long, Bishop has been practicing staying disciplined on defense, as the Wolves are not the biggest team that the Cardinals will have faced, but they are master technicians in their blocking.
They're averaging over 400 yards a game running the football. And they've got several playmakers, so it's going to be a challenge for us to slow them down.
They run very disciplined offense. They're very good at what they do, so getting a good scout look this week is really going to be key for us.
They're a good team. They execute really well, and they have a good game plan, so we just need to follow our game plan and do what we always do.
Ashton Borgeson and the Cardinals defense been really good this year, allowing just 11 points per game. Of course, the Cardinals have a great big offensive line and a tremendous running game as well, led by senior star John Harris. Should be a great matchup between 14-1 Bishop Diego and 12-1 Shasta High School. This Division III AA State Championship bowl game is this Saturday night at Cal Lutheran at 6 p.m. NBA, the Lakers lose at Cleveland 121-112. LeBron James had a triple-double, 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists. The latest from the Thomas Fire next at 11 on KCOY 12 and News Channel 3.